Hello, this is Alexis, and today I'm going to show you how I prepare to complete a black-rated mountain bike trail. This is why MYNYDD Ace of Spades downhill run in the majestic Cwmbran forest of Wales. Sorry about the pronunciation. My main trail wheel is a Begode Master because it has the highest pedal height in its weight class, which gives me confidence to go over tricky steep rocky sections, and is ideal for this kind of technical trails. First thing I do, I watch plenty of different YouTube videos on the trail I'm potentially interested in. I look for downhill trails because I enjoy those tracks more than the enduro ones, and I mainly assess their features and width because mountain bikes are typically much narrower than EUCs, therefore some trails might not be suitable. Unless someone likes to constantly pedal clip, well, I don't, so I avoid those ones. I also try to spot what might be the difficult parts, with steep, rocky and rooty sections to pay attention to. After watching several videos, mostly from amateur rather than pros, as the former tend to highlight the technicalities more than their experienced counterparts, I then decide if the trail is worth pursuing or not. A challenge is always welcome, unless it represents something way too dangerous or where my skills are lacking, like with gap jumps for instance, which I cannot do yet. So if I spot a gap jump on a trail, I check if it might be avoidable and how the alternative route looks like to ensure that it's doable. Next, I try to ride trails for the first time during off-peak days. I avoid weekends when I'm scouting for trails not to disturb or annoy too much our fellow mountain bikers, as they are much faster on black trails compared to EUC riders, or at least compared to myself. Once on the selected trail with my full gear and after stretching my body and then a few warm-up runs on easier trails, I start the new adventure. I go very slowly on my first try, especially on a black trail, which by definition is not only meant to be very technical with potentially big roots, rocks, drops, jumps and or other features, but also with the added difficulty of it being extremely steep. By steep, in pragmatic terms, I mean a slope that it might be difficult to walk up or downhill as it has such a gradient and type of terrain that sliding down might be the only possibility. Also, riding a berm on flat ground is very different than doing it on a steep incline, or on a rock garden next to a cliff, for instance, like in Cannock Chase. Black trail, most often than not, I complete them in segments, as some parts can be more challenging than others. I go slowly and often stop to look at the different rideable lines on the track. In my head, I try to simulate the run on the chosen path. If I'm still unsure whether attempting a certain obstacle or not, then I lift the trolley and wheel the EUC over the selected line, ensuring that the pedals are clear and no obvious track errors, roots or rocks are in the way. During this phase, it is extremely important to pay attention to mountain bikers, as the last thing they expect is someone standing over in their path. I keep both my ears and an eye out while doing this. I also attempt to memorize as much as possible the track and judge if it will be a fun run once all the segments are completed. The most amazing sensation I have is when a difficult black trail is finally dominated and run from the beginning to the end without stepping out of the EUC. After this happens, then I keep on practicing on the trail to improve my speed and my lines. Check if and how I can make the technical section faster to have extra fun, but also to improve further skills and confidence. A few extra considerations before I finish the video. First, make sure to be familiar and confident with easier trails. It took me about a season of practicing on blue and red trails before gathering the courage and skills to handle some blacks. Secondly, knowing the limitations and capabilities of your wheel is fundamental to judge whether a certain trail might be safe or not to attempt. For instance, when I first started trail riding, I was using my Gotaway EXN. Beautiful machine, but the pedals were very low, and pedal clipping was a serious concern and hazard. Having then stepped up onto the Master with much higher pedals and suspension was a game changer, as it allowed me to perform trails that I would not have ever considered before. From my experience so far, the ability to complete advanced technical mountain bike trails, alias black trails, does not rely solely on the rider's skills, but also on the experience in off-road terrains and ultimately on the capabilities of the wheel itself. All of these mixed skills, experience, and right wheel for the job will make the ride consistent, safe, exciting, and fun. Finally, consider that other riders might think and act differently, as this tutorial is based merely on my personal experience and opinion on the subject. Still, I hope it was somehow useful. Ciao ciao!